So I'm going to be trying to revive this AIO. This is an MSI, something with a fancy name, 360. I'm sure I'll put the actual name somewhere in the description, title, whatever. At the moment I don't really care. So I got this, and this was a used but in good condition item, and I've had it for a week. Put it in my new system I built for my home theater PC. Nice big glass case, opening doors, magnetic opening doors, nice beautiful case. Fans look awesome, it looks great. Can't cool the 486. So I've been messing with it, and I didn't even, when I put it in the system, I didn't even bother checking temperatures. I look at temperatures at idle, it was running about 35, 36 C. Okay, fine, i5 9600K here. And I decided, I should just stress test it just to see how well this is cooling, right? Stress test it, we're getting into 100 C within a few seconds. I'm like, okay, something is not right. Something wrong here. So, these are the fans that came with this MSI cooler. This cooler appears to be clogged, the radiator, and is what I believe is wrong with it. In my testing of this thing, I'm not getting any cooling beyond about right here. This is about all the cooling I am getting on this. So I'm in the kitchen here next to the sink, because that's just where you do things with computers, right? I've got the fill cap, whatever you call it there, opened up. And I just wanted to verify there actually was even fluid in it, and there is. In fact, here's the cap screw right there. There's like an O-ring thing and whatever else in there. Hopefully I don't lose that. I'm going to try to take this thing apart, flush it. I don't know if that's even possible in one of these. The section below here just isn't doing anything. I sprayed some stuff on here to make it cold, and the water block here never got cold, so I know there's no circulation. There's just nothing going on in this area of the radiator. This is the pump bay. Very odd. They put it in the radiator here. I don't know. It spins. It sounds okay. I've thought maybe there was an airlock or something in the system. I've tried up and down, left and right, upside right, and I couldn't get anything. And this I left open a little bit and held this to the highest point, and there's a little bit of bubbles came out of it, not many though. So either this is just a bad design or this thing is clogged. So I'm going to try to take the hoses off. I tried draining this, it doesn't come out because all this is still sealed. So I gotta figure out how to take these hoses off, and hopefully I'll be able to circulate with some pressure stuff through this, back flush it. This is the line coming from the block. This is the line that got hot. This is the line that stayed cold, so I know what direction things are. Well, like I said, it just wouldn't. This should all get hot, and it's not. So we're just gonna get you in here and see what's under here. There is definitely liquid in here, but you can see there's some crusties right there, and here is the water block plate. That looks like on the inside copper. You can see more of that yummy stuff right there. It's just kind of a chunk of copper. It's not really finned. It kind of feels like it has some fins there, but I don't, other than just by appearance sake, I don't feel anything really. So clearly we've definitely got some caramelization going on in this cooler, and I'm sure that's the cause for the clogging. So let's see what's under this little membrane thing here. Does this come off? Yes, it does. Kind of looks a little soapy there. So it looks like this is the inlet. Well, this is the inlet and this is the outlet. Let's see here. This is the one that was getting hot. So this is the outlet right here on this side. This is the hose that was getting warm. This is the one that was getting cold. You can see some more of that chunkiness going on there. So this is definitely clogged. I'm sure that's what it is. It also kind of looks a little bit like soap here. It's kind of got a little bit of a, you know, that look of soap when you see like a rainbow. Could be oil too, I suppose. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get this drained now. And we'll just let that drain out a little bit, out of the hoses anyway. Yeah, it definitely is chunky already. So what we want to do with this is get all the fluid out of this, and then we want to back flush it. Because it's going to need to have, because everything's going to be built up on one side, so we want to go the other way, reverse the flow, and force it back out. So that we may end up using a compressor on this. I don't know, that may actually not be too bad of an idea. But I may end up having to take that pump apart too. I saw on the other side, the fan side, conveniently, there are screws on that, so I may have to take that apart as well. So that's the yumminess of the fluid that I've gotten out of it so far. Looks very tasty. I'm going to blow the rest of this out into the cup, and hopefully we'll get something out. All about 60 or so pressures. A little bit. Looks like I probably got most of it out though. There was kind of a big glug at the end and a bunch coming out all at once, so maybe the clog had come out at that point, or maybe that was just a big trapped air pocket. I don't know, but see if I can get any more out of this. Yeah, I have to do that for a while, but very, very yummy. Ew. Well, we're getting a bit of a rig job now. I got the funnel and a piece of fuel line there going into that inlet, I guess. And I got this side going into the other sink there, so I'm going to pour some alcohol on that. I got some 91 isopropyl, and I don't know, maybe they'll make a smoke show. I don't know. We'll see what this does, if it'll even go in. Seems to be flowing. I hear it going glug, 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 glug. Now I don't know what this is going to do. I'm just pouring something in that kind of likes to eat nasty stuff, so maybe it'll... Okay, we got it coming out the other side. Okay. I wonder which one it came out of here. Let's see if we can figure that out. Looks like we're coming out of this one right here. Yeah, I got that drained out. I don't know. I'm going to do that a few more times to get really high on alcohol smells here. Okay, so I've been running some hot water through this here. And I'm just pouring in the funnel up here, which is off camera. And letting it run out the water block. So I'm going to see, this should be warmer now. It feels warmer to me down here, but we're going to find out. You see we're at about 100, it's the hot water there. And we're down to about 85, 83. But it is hot. It is warmer down here. Now the ambient temperature in the room is, well, we're in the 70s there. So There's definitely a temperature change there now. So I got the two holes there plugged. These both actually release water. I got these plugged with Dollar Tree quality Q-tips. This one here seems to be a reverse of, well, what I was doing before. When I'd filled the funnel up, the water came out of these two holes here. So what I did is plug those up, and I'm forcing it to come out this way. So now I'm running cold water through it, and now you can see I'm clear down to 55 degrees on this side of the radiator that was not previously flowing. My water bottle is 51 degrees. We can get a little bit more out of that. It doesn't flow quite as fast this way, but you can see the temperature is slowly dropping. Of course, he's got to cool this whole thing. So I think that's doing pretty good. So the trick's going to be, how am I going to fill this? I don't know how I'm going to fill this, but it looks to me like I've got the thing flowing. I'm getting cold temperature all the way across here, and that's what I want to see. So I think whatever I've done, maybe just draining that fluid out, I don't know, maybe that was enough, but whatever I've done seems to have cleared the clog. So now I'm getting full flow. I know the radiator is circulating water within itself just with gravity, so it's not restrictive. It's cool across all the veins right here. So I'm going to call that good. Now I got to figure out how to fill this up. I got some high quality Supertech Walmart brand antifreeze right here. I'm going to mix a little bit of that in with the water and go from there. So here's the old stuff here. Kind of not very nice. This is what I mixed up, about 20% or so antifreeze to water, distilled. So you remember in the water block, I didn't film this because I was, complicated to get it back together. I had to figure it out. So on this water block, which you can laughingly call a water block, there's those three holes I showed you earlier, and I plugged those up with the Q-tips. So what I did when I was filling it up was I just let the reservoir that I created with the funnel fill it up until it was coming out. Then I pull one of the Q-tips out, let it start bubbling out, put it back in, pull the other one out, let it bubble out, put it back in, and everything seemed to be pretty well bled out at that point. So I went ahead and found like a happy place, and where it was kind of still bubbling out a little bit, and then it wouldn't, and it did a little bit. So I kind of got a happy place there, and I put the block back together. So there is a tiny bit of sloshing in it. Probably can't even hear it on the camera, but I can hear it a little bit. Not much though, very little. So I gave the whole thing here, the whole radiator, a washing because it was full of dust. So I'm going to have to let this sit, let it dry out, and then we'll try it a little bit later and hope we have a working 360 radiator. So the way I'm going to test this real quick before we go slapping into the system is with a can of air. You turn these things upside down, they blow the refrigerant out and they get very cold. So I'm going to show you the thermal probe here. And we're at about 74 or so. You can see. This may not work entirely perfectly because these infrared things don't like these shiny surfaces, so we'll see here, but I got to get a fresh can. You could run hot water too. I can feel that's cold. We got that cooled down really nice there, 47 degrees. See, it's shiny, so it doesn't. Let me see if I can pick up on a hose or something here. Okay. Well, I can feel it's cold too, and that's something that it did not do before. So you can also do this test with hot water. That's probably the better thing to use, but you know, I've already what I really wanted to do at this point was to verify whether or not the pump was actually circulating, because last night I had this thing apart, flushed it, put the new coolant in it. I was able to verify that it was getting hot and cold. I tried both temps all the way through. So I just really wanted to make sure at this point that the pumpulator is actually able to, you know, circulate, push water around. That's really what I'm trying to accomplish here, and to bleed out some air. See, if I go and put this back in the case, it's not going to work. See, that's the way everything always goes. Let's go ahead and put it back in the case and see it not work. Woo! Well, I'm going to call that a success. Definitely made a full comeback, and this is the temperatures I would expect from this processor under full load. I'm getting about 60 C, 50 C at one of the cores, so it's doing all right. I'll have to keep this in mind because these coolers can be had for about half the price on Amazon like I paid. And they probably all have a very similar problem, that the coolant is just crap in them. Seems to be a problem I notice with Gamers Jesus and Jay's 10 cents talking about these things. I have very limited experience with these, but I'm glad this one made a full recovery. So Thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Now we got to get back to what this system was meant to do.